You want to skip like a boxer? I'll show you how. And it sure as shit isn't like this. Step one, get your rope, stand on top of it, pull the rope taut. You want it to be about hip height. As a beginner, it's okay if it's a bit longer, but you don't want it too high. If it's too high towards your armpits, then it's a bit of a problem. There's going to be too much space between your head and the rope. If it's too short, then as you're skipping, the rope's going to hit your head on the way around. Obviously not ideal. Once you've sorted your rope length out, we're good to go. A couple of things to note. If your rope's quite long, naturally you'll want to end up having your hands a little bit further away from your body. If your rope's short, then you want it closer to your body. Skipping is not in the arms. You don't want to be doing all this. It's in the wrist action. That's all it should be. As we skip, 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot off the ground, just to make it easy to start off with. As the rope gets near the feet, you just swap your feet. It's as simple as that. But you don't just stamp down on the ground. You want to bounce off the balls of your feet. So jump, swap your feet, and then bounce. And again, you want to be on the balls of your feet when you land. Your heels should never touch the ground, and you're not putting pressure through to your shins and your knees, etc. So as we go over, jump, swap, jump, swap, jump, swap. That's all it is. Keep your knees up in front of you all the time, and just let your feet dangle. You don't need to kick them out in front of you or anything like that, or bring your heels to your bum, none of that shit. Just knees up in front of you. Don't do this. Do not kick your feet behind you. Keep your feet behind you, although it looks fine right now, there's a tendency for the rope to get caught on your feet just like that. If the rope touches the ground, there's more friction and you're limiting how fast you can go. Now, those with longer ropes, there's a higher chance of your rope hitting the ground. And if you start getting competent with your skipping, you want to start decreasing the length of your rope so you can bring your hands closer to your body and then you can go faster. Simple as that. If the rope's massive, then there's going to be loads of space above your head and you're limiting how fast you can skip. So if you can, you want to get this rope to be about maybe 6 inches above your head. Natural progression when you're skipping, doubles. Or as some people call it, double unders, because doubles aren't self-explanatory enough. You get your rope under your feet twice before the feet land again. And instead of having singles, you're doing 2 feet at a time. As a simple starting point, just start like that. Bring your knees up towards your chest. Put a bit more effort into your hands and it'll go around twice. Remember, when you're doing your doubles, the same principles apply as if you're doing singles. So you're bouncing on the balls of your feet all the time. You're not letting your heels touch the ground. As soon as your feet land, you want to bounce again. Now notice, it's a little bit easier when you're doing your doubles, just to keep your feet almost straight. You're not really bending them too much. But if you want to put a bit more effort into it and you want to be competitive, then you can do more. You can lift your knees higher, you can put a bit more effort into it, and it'll work. Same with your singles. Pretty much covered everything there. If you've got any questions, just ask, I'll be happy to help. Basics, bounce on the balls of your feet, lift your knees up in front of you, don't let your heels touch the ground, don't kick your feet behind you, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Get that rhythm in line with your skipping, it'll make things much easier. Yeah, pretty much it. This is the rope. Get up.